Stop what you are doing. If you are a Canadian senior receiving CPP or OAS right now, there is a form that Service Canada does not mention when you apply. They do not send you a reminder about it, they do not call, and most seniors who could use it have no idea it exists. What this form can do to your monthly payment is not a small adjustment. For some seniors, the difference is hundreds of dollars every single month for the rest of their life, permanently. Today, I am going to show you exactly what this form is, who can use it, how much money is at stake, and 2 other strategies that can increase your CPP or OAS, even if the first option no longer applies to you. Stay until the end, because the last one affects every senior who has not yet maximized their deferral, and it is the most important retirement income decision you can make right now. Before we get into it, subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell. The strategies I cover here are ones Service Canada will not explain to you unless you specifically ask, and most seniors never know to ask. The people subscribed here get this information before the window closes. Subscribe now and let us get into it. Tell me in the comments right now, did you know you can legally increase your CPP or OAS payment after you have already started receiving it? Yes or no? Drop your province below, because what this community shares shapes exactly what we cover next. Let us start with the form itself. It is called the Request for Reconsideration. And in specific situations involving CPP, it is paired with what Service Canada processes as a formal written request to reassess your benefit start date or your earnings record. But the most powerful version of what I am describing today is this. If you started your CPP early, before age 65, and you now regret that decision, there is a path to undo it. It is not advertised, it is not on the front page of Canada.ca, and very few seniors have ever been told it exists. Here's how it works. Under Canada Pension Plan, rules administered by Service Canada, if you began receiving your CPP retirement pension and you are within a specific window, you can request that your pension be cancelled. You repay what you have received. Your application is treated as if it never happened, and you refile later at a higher age, at a permanently higher monthly amount. Here is a real example to make this concrete. A woman in Ontario started CPP at age 60. She was in between jobs and needed the income. Her monthly payment at 60 was approximately $640, the reduced amount for taking it 5 years early. Her full CPP entitlement at 65 would have been $1,007 per month. If she had waited until 70, with the deferral enhancement applied, her payment would have reached $1,430 per month. She filed a written cancellation request with Service Canada. She repaid the months she had received. Service Canada treated her application as withdrawn. She refiled at 70. Her new monthly payment, $1,430. That is $790 more every single month for the rest of her life. Over 20 years, the difference is $189,600. The catch is real. You have a limited window to cancel. Under current CPP rules, you can cancel your CPP retirement pension within 6 months of the date your first payment was issued. Not 6 months from when you changed your mind, 6 months from the first check. Miss that window and the cancellation option is gone. You also have to repay every dollar received, including any amounts directed to tax withholding. If you have the funds available, the math is almost always in your favor. If you do not, the next strategy may be more useful. Service Canada published this option in the Canada Pension Plan regulations, but they did not send Colleen a letter explaining it. They did not send Walter a reminder. They never do. Canadians who work with retirement income specialists hear about this the moment it becomes relevant to their situation. Most Canadian seniors on CPP find out about it, if they ever find out, only after the 6-month window has already closed. Now you know before that happens. Now here's the part most coverage completely misses, and this one involves the CRA, not Service Canada. Your CPP payment amount is calculated based on your contributory earnings history. Every year you contributed to the CPP, the amount you earned, and the amount deducted from your paycheck. If that earnings record contains errors, years where your employer submitted incorrect payroll data, years that show lower income than you actually earned, or years that show 0 when you were working, your monthly CPP is lower than it should be. And here's what the CRA connection means. Your earnings record flows from your CRA tax filings. If your T4 slips had errors, if self-employment income was misreported, or if any year's contribution was recorded incorrectly, every strategy we are talking about today is working from the wrong base number. A correction of even 1 year of earnings can increase your monthly CPP by $80 to $120. Over 20 years, that is between $19,000 and $28,000 of additional income that was sitting in a records error nobody told you to fix. You can request a review of your CPP earnings record through My Service Canada account online, or by calling Service Canada directly. You will need documentation, T4 slips, tax returns, or records of employment for the years in question. If an error is confirmed, Service Canada corrects the record and recalculates your benefit. Harold had no idea this connection existed either. Most seniors never find out until they sit down and actually compare their old T4s against what Service Canada has on file. Did you know that errors in your CRA earnings record could be reducing your CPP payment right now, and that you can request a correction through Service Canada? Drop your answer below right now. I want to know how many people watching this had no idea these two agencies were connected in this way. Now let us talk about the OAS deferral, because this is the strategy that applies whether you have claimed or not, and it is one of the most underused tools available to Canadian seniors right now. Most Canadians start their OAS at 65 because that is the default. Service Canada sends the enrollment letter and most people simply say yes. What that letter does not prominently explain is that you can defer your OAS by up to 5 years, until age 70, and receive a permanently higher monthly amount for every month you delay. The increase is 0.6% per month of deferral. That is 7.2% per year. 5 full years of deferral, from 65 to 70, adds exactly 36% to your OAS payment permanently for the rest of your life. In 2026, the maximum OAS payment for seniors aged 65 to 74 is $742.31 per month. A senior who defers to 70 would receive that amount increased by 36%, bringing the maximum to over $1,009 per month. That is a difference of more than $267 every single month for the rest of their life. And for seniors age 75 and over, there is an additional 10% enhancement built into OAS automatically. The maximum OAS for seniors 75 and older in 2026 is $817.36 per month. And if that senior had deferred from 65 to 70 before turning 75, the deferral enhancement and the age 75 enhancement both stack. To defer your OAS, you do not file a complicated form. You contact Service Canada, either through My Service Canada account online, by phone at 1-800-277-9914, or in person at a Service Canada location, and you inform them that you wish to defer your OAS pension. That is the one-page action. It is a written instruction. It is free, and once entered, your deferral begins accumulating. The break-even point for OAS deferral, the age at which waiting pays off more than collecting early, is typically around age 80 to 82, depending on your specific payment amount. For any Canadian senior in reasonable health who expects to live past 82, the deferral almost always wins mathematically. There is one important thing to know about deferring OAS that Service Canada does not lead with. If your income is low enough to qualify for the Guaranteed Income Supplement, GIS, deferring OAS also defers GIS, since GIS is paid alongside OAS. For seniors who qualify for GIS, the calculation is different and more nuanced. In many cases, the GIS amount that is lost during deferral years offsets much of the benefit of the higher OAS later. If you currently receive or expect to receive GIS, speak with a Service Canada advisor specifically about the deferral calculation before making that decision. Colleen eventually figured out what happened with her CPP. She contacted Service Canada within her 6-month window, repaid what she had received, and refiled at a later age. It took 2 months to process the cancellation and confirm the repayment. It required organizing 3 years of documentation. If Colleen had known about the cancellation window the week she first filed, none of that paperwork would have been necessary. She could have simply waited. That is the entire point of this video. 3 steps you can complete this week. Step 1. Log into your My Service Canada account on canada.ca and pull up your CPP Statement of Contributions. This document shows every year of CPP contributions on your record and the earnings amount recorded for each year. Compare it against your own records, T4 slips, tax returns, records of employment. If any year shows lower earnings than you actually had, or shows 0 when you were working and contributing, contact Service Canada to request a review of that year's record. Step 2. If you have not yet started your OAS and you are between 65 and 69 right now, look at your income situation this year. If you have other income sources covering your needs and your health is good, contact Service Canada and ask specifically about the OAS deferral calculation for your situation. Ask them to show you the difference in monthly payment between starting now and starting at 70. That number, in dollars, applied to your specific file, is what should drive your decision, not a general rule, your specific numbers. Step 3. Share this video with one Canadian senior in your life who is between 60 and 70 and has never had a direct conversation with Service Canada about their CPP start date or OAS deferral options. That conversation takes 1 phone call. It is free, and the information that comes out of it could change their monthly income for the rest of their life. One more thing before we close. Service Canada will never call you demanding immediate repayment of CPP or OAS by phone. They will never ask for gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency to settle a balance. They will never threaten to suspend your pension by text message. They will never ask for your social insurance number by email. If you receive any contact like that, hang up immediately and call Service Canada directly at 1-800-277-9914. The real Service Canada sends letters. It does not call with threats. What is the one thing from this video that surprised you most? Drop your answer and your province in the comments right now. I read every single one. And if this video helped you, hit the like button right now. 1 second. It is the only way this reaches the next Canadian senior who is leaving money on the table without knowing it. Colleen's story is not unusual. It happens to Canadian seniors across every province every single year. The only difference between Colleen and someone who avoids this is knowing the window exists before it closes. You now know. Share this with someone you love who is on CPP or OAS, or who is about to make that decision before they find out the hard way. I am Henry Jaden. Take care of yourself.